Hi, Megha. Good morning. How are
Hi.
you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you, Ravish? So nice to see you.
Thank you. I'm doing great as well. Thanks for asking.
You're most welcome. So, how are your sessions going on Clapingo?
I took off for, I think, 1 month, I suppose.
Okay.
I resubscribed, and here I am.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you back then.
Thank you. How
Okay.
is
So,
it
did you?
going?
Sorry?
How is it going?
Oh, everything's going on pretty well. No surprises along the way, but yeah, it's good.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay then. So, recently, did you pick up any new hobby or did you travel to any interesting place?
I haven't traveled to any place. Today weather is awesome here in Delhi. It's raining
Okay.
outside. You know that. And yeah, yesterday also it rained, and after probably a gap of, I say, 1.5 months, I suppose. Yeah, and today, the weather also seems pretty well, and it's raining
Mm-hmm.
outside.
Sounds
But
amazing. It's the
yes,
same case here in Bangalore too. Yesterday evening it was pouring outside and we felt like we've been transported to some hill station. Was it the same case
oh
in Delhi?
wow, that's awesome. Actually, in Delhi, it does not rain too much, right? And you might have heard that, this year we did not experience a lot of rainfall.
Okay.
And in most of the part of the India as well, there is very scanty rainfall, right? So same thing happened here in Delhi as well.
So it was a much needed respite.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So nice. So did you get a chance to go through the session material?
We can talk about it. What is that session about?
There's one extempore topic that has
Mhm.
caught my attention, and I'd like to ask your opinion on it. What do you think is the biggest mistake that we've made as humans?
Okay, cool. Well, the thing is, I think we as a human being have
Mhm.
made the biggest mistake, and that is catching everyone's attention. It's not a new thing. Probably
Yeah,
we for years, decades, or say, so many years, we've been experiencing these things, and it's really a concern. It's alarming now, which is a global warming. And I
mm,
don't think the biggest mistake as a human being, I don't think there is any bigger threat or a menace than the global warming at this point in time, right? Everybody's concerned. The countries are coming out, sharing their views, taking
yeah,
their biggest step, right?
hmm,
And we are actually serious now, and we can see that a lot of things and campaigns are going on, and people are actually coming out and sharing, doing their bit, like plantation. They're going for a
yes,
plantation. The countries are coming up and going
right,
for a huge plantation, and
mhm,
there are so many technologies that are being implemented nowadays.
true that.
Uh, like the carbon emissions, carbon dioxide is something which is perhaps the major cause of concern, right? The major concern for the cause of this global warming.
Right.
And we are actually exploring the other options available, right? So what could be the other gases or something, the new technology which can
Alternative
provide
sources of energy.
alternative
Mhm.
source of, yeah,
Yeah.
which cannot deplete the ozone layer, which is again a threat again,
Correct.
happening every day. So we are absolutely looking for these options, and
Hmm.
but I think there are a lot of things to be explored, and we haven't you know uh, explode as such. I would say we haven't come onto a conclusion so far. We don't have
Yeah.
any alternate source as of now, but yes, I think people are working on it, and scientists are working on it, and hopefully in the near future we can see something bigger happening. What do you think? Is there any latest update you've heard or probably read somewhere? What we are doing, in order to uh, minimize the global warming that is happening?
Not really. Recently, I haven't come across any articles related to this topic because politically the world is so charged right now. Every time I open news, it's always something related to politics. I think environment is the least of people's concerns these days. And
Hmm.
to be honest, when it comes to the policies, right, the government is the policy maker, correct?
Absolutely.
So, what do you feel that we can do? to curb the menace of global warming? Some small steps can you suggest as normal people, as normal citizens, that we can undertake to overcome this problem?
Well, I think is you must have heard a lot of times on social media, like,
Yeah,
if today is your birthday, you must go out and plant a tree, right?
yeah,
If there is a birthday in your family, in order to
correct.
share gifts,
Hmm.
you must go out and plant trees. That's the great initiative, I would say.
Yeah.
And if people are serious about this,
Hmm.
I'm sure that that can somehow, be a solution to this problem. Again, like we are using a lot of air conditions, right? And
Correct.
unnecessarily as well, wherein
Hmm.
you can see the people who are affluent and people who can afford, they have so many ACs installed at their homes, right?
Exactly.
And they it hardly bothers, if air conditions are operated all the times, or you do not feel like, once I'm done with it, and once I'm going outside my house, you know uh, I mean, we should make sure that the air conditions are closed, or probably we
Yeah.
switch off the air conditions. So we have to make the judicious use of it. We need to make sure that, wherever we are, we we feel like, we are contaminating our environment. We are
Yes.
adding carbon dioxide,
Hmm.
unnecessarily. We need to go out and we need to make sure that things are taken care of, and we must act, proactively in order to
Correct.
contribute your bit, whatever you can do. I mean, I know, and we know that, this is not something which is a very small problem. We have to take a small bit step, and if everyone does that,
Yeah.
deliberately, I'm sure that, uh, we can come with the solution.
Yeah, so it's like little by little, there's going to be a big impact eventually. So that's
Yes,
a wonderful, wonderful suggestion that's given by you. And we have to try to make our lifestyle as sustainable as possible instead of
exactly.
consuming and buying things unnecessarily every time going on the application, buying products. So I think if we reduce that, the environment will be much safer. You remember when we were kids, in our houses, our mothers, our grandmothers, they used steel containers, right?
Right.
Mostly it was steel containers, but now if you see, everyone is switching to plastic. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that again leaves
Yeah.
a very bad footprint on Earth. So I
And the
think,
problem is that, the plastics that we use every day,
mhm,
it's very hard to dissolve,
yes,
and it takes years to dissolve, actually.
correct.
And I was going through an article,
Hmm.
probably I remember, I think 3 4 months ago, wherein the writer was explaining that, what we can do as a human being in order to minimize the use of plastic, and how we can do that.
Oh, that's nice.
Uh, what she was suggesting is the companies that they are manufacturing the products, right? The manufacturers especially, they
Hmm.
are they are packaging all their goods and products, right, in polythenes.
Yeah.
So they should come up in order to.
Hmm.
I mean, we as a human being, we consume all those products, but the companies should also take care of this. They have
Yeah.
to install a plant. They must install a plant wherein they
Hmm.
can recycle all those plastics and
Correct.
make sure it's not just our responsibilities, the company that they are using and wrapping their products up,
Hmm.
right, every
Hmm.
day. And you can imagine tons and tons of their products are being uh, uh, wrapped within the plastics. So they
Correct.
must come out and install such plants, and then make sure that the plastics that are being used every day should be recycled,
Hmm.
in order to minimize the use of plastics. And definitely, we should look out for the different options altogether. Say about, instead of plastics, if you can use something else which can easily be dissolved
Yes.
and not harming the nature, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you must have seen that, ragamuffins and all those downtrodden people who are actually, the plastic pickers, right?
Right.
What they do, I
Right.
mean, we should encourage those people.
Hmm.
If you are collecting those plastics and then going for recycle,
Hmm.
you should get the wage, or probably you should be compensated. You should get the money. I mean, people who are collecting all those should get
Yeah.
the free meals, and
Hmm.
then should be compensated with some money, right, in order to boost the interest of the people. And if even the normal people like us, it's
Yeah.
not just the people who are downtrodden, or say the people who are actually dependent on picking the plastics up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just not their responsibility; it's ours as well as
Yeah.
our, the companies that they are involved in
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing all those plastics
Yeah.
and goods and
Right.
materials.
So,
Yeah.
in Mysore, I had read an article about a new startup. Okay,
Hmm.
they convert plastic into furniture. So,
Oh,
yeah, that's what they do. I think now there are a lot of companies who do this, who do a similar thing. There's
hmm.
another brand. It's called as Rebel, RE hyphen Bell. Okay, so
Okay.
it's Recycle Bell Private Limited. You can check out their work. I think they are one of the pioneers in the urban waste management sector of India right now. So
Okay.
do go check it out. I think you'll find that to be fascinating.
Rebuild.
Uh,
Okay, I'll do
yeah,
that.
right. So I had, when you were talking about that, suddenly this flashed into my mind. Okay,
Mm,
and
okay.
this is all about how the biggest mistake that we've made. Right now, the other side of the coin is what is the best thing that we have created as humans. Have we left any positive impact at all?
Yes, absolutely. There are so many things that we as a human being are
Hmm.
developing every day in
Yeah.
order to make sure
Mhm.
that our lives are easier, and
Yeah.
it's becoming easier every day. Especially if I would like to talk about the pharmaceutical industries, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Though there are some of the practices that the pharmaceutical companies are doing, which is unethical, I would say. But yes, their contribution is something which we cannot ignore, right? They are coming up with the ideas, and say, for example, the vaccines that they work, right?
Right.
The drug development cycle that happens
Hmm.
in order to, if any drug that comes up, and the time that it takes, the scientists that they involve, right, in order to manufacture or probably say identify the drug for
Yeah.
any, say, diseases, right? So that's incredible, and every day that is becoming so easier
Hmm.
for people, that our life is 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 becoming easier.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, and the tools and technologies, tools and techniques that are being developed by scientists, that's incredible. And talk about the technologies nowadays that we are using. Uh, we did not think about it probably 10 years back, or probably 20
Correct.
years back, right?
Oh yes,
and
that's right.
and again, maybe 10 years down the line from now,
Hmm.
we can the things that we're going to experience will be incredible, and it's hard to believe at this point in time, but that's going to happen. So we as a human being are doing something really exceptional, but yes, there
Yeah.
is always a pros and cons to it. So yeah, that's every coin has two parts. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Right.
that's
So
something.
it all depends on the way we use it, right? So innovations are always necessary for any generation. It all depends on how a person uses it. For example, a mobile phone.
Mhm.
If there is a student who's using it for enhancing their knowledge or learning some new skill, then it's good. But the other side of this is cybercrime, right? So a lot of young people are also moving in that direction. So the device
Correct.
itself is not good or bad. It all depends on how we as
We
people are
use it.
using it. Yeah, so
Correct.
that decides it. Absolutely right.
That's
Okay,
correct.
fantastic. So are you excited about the future in terms of medicine, technology, innovations?
Oh, really? Yes. Because I'll tell you, in India, I'm sure that you must be knowing, you're in Bangalore, right? So
Right. Yeah.
so that's the IT city of our country.
Correct.
So a lot of engineers and software developers, we as a software companies, or engineers, are doing incredible in all around the world. Talk about the US, the all software engineers are mostly from India, and if you remember any technologies that are available in the market,
Yeah.
you'll find developers. They're from
Correct.
India. And as I was mentioning about the pharmaceutical companies, right? You must have, if you go out and check, you'll
Hmm.
find the Indian pharmaceutical companies are doing incredible.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
yeah, and like I'll tell you by an example. Like recently, we had COVID, right? And the
Yeah.
vaccines, the kind of doses that we developed in our laboratories. That
Hmm.
again, that's something which, I mean, Great, I would say. Not just the vaccine, but if you check out the previous medicines as well, India is
Hmm.
doing really, really great when that comes to these two, particularly these two fields. So, but there are
Absolutely
so many
right.
other things as well. There are so many areas that need to be explored as of now.
Hmm.
But these two sectors are something which India is probably known for. Yeah,
True that. Uh, People sometimes tend to underestimate us, but we always surprise them, and I think that's a good thing. That's a good
right.
sign, right? Yeah. And if you look at the previous pandemics that happened across the globe, they lasted for decades, right? And we are
Mm.
lucky that because of the advancements in medical industry, so we were able to overcome this problem within a span of 2.5 years, right? So it was a
Yeah,
game changer, yeah, and we should all be
yeah.
very, very grateful for it.
And we were kind of skeptical when the
Yeah.
Indians or probably the different medical industries or medical company were
Uh,
developing drugs. It takes
yeah.
normally two years, right?
Yeah.
Uh, in order to go, if you are developing a drug, it takes
Hmm.
at least 2.5 years in order to go for entire drug development cycle,
Yeah.
right? And if somebody is doing probably say less than a year or 2 year, less than
Hmm.
year or probably 1.5 years, that's something which is hard to believe. Even that is,
Absolutely.
yeah. And by looking at the effect of the COVID, I mean, I don't know, but yes, scientists have done a great job and developed the vaccine.
That's the
And
thing. People always, underestimate us. They're skeptical of it, but then things do work. All the hard work of the best brains in our country, I think it has helped us a lot. And yeah, it's a great thing that you brought this point of the pandemic situation. And to be very honest, I just looked at the clock, and I guess we have a minute or something. I really wish I could speak with you for much, much longer,
oh,
but
okay.
it was a wonderful session. You are a brilliant speaker. That's the only
Thank you.
feedback, and that's going to be a constant feedback no matter which tutor you're going to speak with, right? So, great job.
Thank, thank you, Megha, again
You're most
for these
welcome.
kind words, and it was
Yeah,
really great session with you.
same here. The pleasure is all mine. I'll see you next time then. Take care.
Sure. Take care. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
bye.